Just finished building this beautiful hardy kiwi arbor here at Long Creek Permaculture Site. We're in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Maryland. We've been growing hardy kiwi and building arbors for more than a decade, and we've learned what works and a lot of what doesn't. So the hardy kiwi is a cousin to the fuzzy, except for its smooth skin, size of a large grape. Pop the whole thing in your mouth, it's exquisite. It has all the kiwi flavors minus the acidity. It grows on a very ornamental, very beautiful vine that is also very vigorous. A female hardy kiwi can produce up to 100 pounds of fruit. So think of wisteria with 100 pounds of fruit on it, right? You want to be ready for that. You want to build strong. We build with black locust. Black locust is a very rot-resistant wood. In our neck of the woods, you could also use eastern cedar. You want to use at least 8 inches in diameter, 10 even better. You want these to last decades. So ours is all black locust. We have a decent height on it. We have about 9-10 feet of height. We like that so that as the vines come down, there's still plenty of room to come in and out. It just creates a beautiful sitting area as well. Now, this design is just for 2 hardy kiwi vines, which will be trained like grapes. Typically, for the hardy kiwi, the northern hardy kiwi, you need a male nearby to pollinate up to 7 females, right? So instead of letting our precious pergola space be used for the males, we put them on a nearby tree that gets partial light, just enough to flower, just what we need to pollinate with, but not give them the prime time location. So with the northern hardy kiwi, you want to make sure that you're getting enough space for the tendrils to go. The tendrils will shoot out, a good 10, 12 feet within one season. Yes, they're magnificent. Think of like Shop of Horrors plant, but very beautiful and very fruitful. So a very fun, very gorgeous, very ornamental, edible landscape character that also gives you tons of fruit. Let's have a look at some of the other designs we've got here at Long Creek. All right, so one of the coolest small hardy kiwi designs that we've come up with here at Long Creek is this little umbrella character. So this is good for a single, less vigorous type of hardy kiwi like the variety Acai. Acai is a Japanese hardy kiwi that is self-fertile, means it doesn't need a male. So, and it's not as crazy vigorous as many of the other northern hardy kiwis. So, good for a smaller space. Now, it is typically only hardy to zone 7 and warmer. So we're right on that cusp here. We're about zone 6B here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and Acai has been so far doing well for us. So this design is a black locust post, a good 10 inches in diameter, sunk a good 2 feet in the ground, good anchoring. And then the top is there from scaffolding. Scaffolding has the scissors that hold scaffolding together. So I had some old scaffolding pieces kicking around. So I just notched the top of the black locust with a chainsaw, settled that down in there, put a couple of metal straps over the top, screwed that down to give it some firmness. And now I've been training the Acai. You can see it coming up here. And I'm gonna wire around the top. And it'll be like one of those old-fashioned clothes dryers. You go outside to close, air dry your clothes. But it'll be already hardy kiwi, and it's just gonna come and it's gonna cascade down, and it's gonna create a nice, lovely little sitting space for 1 or 2 people. It'll be like a hardy kiwi, like arbor, little sitting cove. So you get real creative with these. I can't wait to be sitting under this one. All right, this beautiful hardy kiwi arbor is about 10 years old. It's at the entrance to our magical permaculture garden here at Long Creek. It was trimmed back all the way to 12 inches at the beginning of the very early part of the spring. And it is already coming down. Look at that, already shooting down. I mean, that's like 9 foot of growth so far this season. This is built on black locusts, but the black locust I used was at most 8 inches, and some of the top supports were only about 6 inches, and 10 years in, they're starting to fail. So I've got to be coming back and I've got to start rebuilding, which is a real pain in the butt, to tell you the truth, because there's a lot of weight up there. So again, I encourage you to build strong from the get-go when it comes to hardy kiwis. This is one male and one female, right? So I started to train these in the early years. I only had 2 cordons. Cordons are what we call arms, permanent arms. And I only had 2 of those for the male, and the rest I let go for the female so that it would maximize that space for the fruiting. After a couple of years, I lost track. The whole thing now is a tangle, but it fruits nicely. So there's different levels of hardy kiwi. You can do nothing. You can manage them intensively for maximum fruit. You can just let them go and still enjoy plenty of fruit. It kind of depends on what your goal is. We love this just as a portal, as an entrance to the garden. Like when you go through it, you feel like you're going into a different magical space, which you are. But it gives you that feeling, and it's just beautiful, magical. So happy I built it. Just wish I'd built it a little bit stronger. Next time. Okay, so the last hardy kiwi design I want to share from here at Long Creek is growing it more like a hedge, or almost like a single bush. This beauty right here is, gosh, she's almost 10 years old. Just as big as the hardy kiwi arbor I just showed you, but it's maintained as a bush, as a shrub. And that's mostly because of the deer. The deer come and trim this for me all the time. But you could maintain this yourself as a shrub, as sort of more of a hedge, but you have to come and do a lot of summertime pruning, because again, these tendrils will come out, 8-10 feet and just wrap themselves around whatever they can. Or you can come back and cut them multiple times during the season and maintain them more as a shrub. And they're beautiful. It's like a vine shrub that's absolutely gorgeous. You'll still get plenty of fruit that way, because actually cutting back the vines encourages fruiting. So you can't go wrong. You can just, I usually don't tell people to go out and hack stuff, but you can actually hack the hardy kiwi back and still get lots of fruit from it. So hardy, 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 and delicious. I mean, what's not to love about it? Highly recommend planting some hardy kiwis. Happy fruiting.